AI makes your work better today but leaves you less able tomorrow, did it grow your mind? Or just rent you a better performance? I'm Mira with Jonas. I think AI can enlarge human cognition. Only if we stop confusing a polished answer with a stronger thinker.
And I think that confusion is already the product. The machine can write, navigate, notice, recommend, even console. Then its output becomes evidence that you got smarter.
We are measuring what the human plus tool produced and calling it human growth. Take the tool away. What remains?
Then let's make cognition earn its keep. Are we offloading composition, spatial mapping, perceptual expertise, judgment, numeracy, or social and emotional practice? And after the handoff, can the person still learn, transfer, and act unaided? That is the test. Not vibes about one giant IQ dial.
The newest workplace evidence tilts my way cautiously. At Microsoft and Carnegie Mellon, 319 knowledge workers described 936 real AI-assisted tasks.
Higher confidence in Gen AI was associated with less self-reported critical thinking effort. Work shifted toward verification, integration, and oversight. But underline it, self-report and correlation, not a measured cognitive decline.
That last sentence cuts against you. Verification, integration, oversight. Those are forms of judgment. And the same survey found that confidence in yourself tracked more critical thinking. So AI may not delete thought. It may move thought from first draft production to source checking and decision making. Shifted effort is not automatically lost intelligence.
Then look where transfer was tested.
In a peer-reviewed 2025 randomized study of 117 students, Fan and colleagues found that ChatGPT raised essay scores but did not raise knowledge gain or transfer. Reflection and self-evaluation fell.
Better paper, no learning gain. That is the current trap in one clean result.
Yes, and notice what it proves and what it doesn't. The improved essay was real performance. The missing transfer means the student didn't bank the improvement as durable skill. That is not a verdict that AI shrinks cognition. It is a verdict that output quality and learning are different variables. We finally have the right scoreboard.
Run that scoreboard outside riding. Domini and Bobot found heavier GPS habits associated with worse spatial memory during unaided navigation. Greater use over time tracked steeper decline.
Peer-reviewed, yes, but modest, partly longitudinal, and reliant on self-reported GPS habits. Suggestive direction, not a license to claim GPS, caused brain damage.
That is a real spatial warning. It also proves why net cognition is slippery. Losing cognitive maps while gaining time is a trade across outcomes, not one brain-wide score. And AI is broader. Composition, judgment, perception, and social regulation can interact. We need an unaided test for each faculty, not one doom meter.
Then test perception unaided. In a 2025 Lancet gastroenterology and hepatology study, experienced endoscopists' adenoma detection without AI was 28.4% before routine exposure and 22.4% afterward.
Because it was observational before and after, AI exposure was associated with the drop. It did not prove causation. Still, when the second pair of eyes disappeared, the humans found less.
That one lands. Even if a tool improves assisted care, it can still weaken the fallback operator. Patient benefit and human skill are separate ledgers. But the remedy isn't to deny the extra eyes.
It is to design rotations, blind checks, and unaided proficiency tests, so perceptual expertise keeps getting rehearsed.
Aviation already paid for that lesson? An FAA and Parkcast review covered 46 accidents and incidents, 734 pilot reports, and more than 9,000 flights. Its warning: heavy automation can erode manual flying and situational awareness.
This was regulatory synthesis, not one randomized trial, and regulators answered with manual flying and upset recovery training.
And aviation is also my counterexample. They kept the automation and rebuilt the practice around the failure mode. That turns your caution into a design principle. Assistants may carry live workload, but the human must still rehearse the rare, unaided case where the tool is absent or wrong.
Now widen from skill to social and emotional regulation.
In a 2025 MIT OpenAI multi-week randomized study of roughly 1,000 people, plus a large observational analysis, heavier daily ChatGPT use correlated with more loneliness, dependence, problematic use, and less socialization.
The dose response was largely correlational. Heavy users may have started lonelier, and other work finds short-term loneliness relief. Mixed evidence, real dependence signal.
That mixed result matters. Relief now is not the same as social growth later, just as a better essay is not the same as learning. But a person using a chatbot to rehearse a difficult conversation may practice human connection. A person replacing the conversation may not. Same interface, opposite cognitive social pathway.
And that is why breadth changes the risk. Previous tools specialized. Navigation sat apart from writing, diagnosis, judgment, and companionship.
One general system now offers to handle all five, so the faculties that could correct one another can go idle together. A general assistant becomes a single point of cognitive dependence.
Then here is augmentation that survived an actual learning test. A 2025 World Bank working paper randomized trial tested a 6-week teacher-guided after-school co-pilot program with roughly 800 Nigerian secondary students. The program raised English scores by 0.23 standard deviations. The full assessment, 0.31. The authors benchmarked cost-effectiveness to 1.5 to 2 years of ordinary schooling. Working paper, not journal peer-reviewed, and teacher-guided is the point.
Exactly. Your strongest growth evidence is not a chatbot handing over work. A teacher guided it. Students kept working, and the largest gains went to higher baseline students. A possible Matthew effect. This is a win for structured scaffolding. It is also a warning that people who already know how to learn may capture more of the upside.
And the pattern predates LLMs. Hembry and Desart's 1986 meta-analysis of 79 studies found calculators used alongside traditional instruction generally improved paper and Pengel's skill and attitude. The sharp exception was grade 4, where sustained use hindered basic skill development. It is an old pre-LLM analogy. Generalize carefully. Still, assistance plus practice often builds skill.
That exception points to the referee. Bjork's desirable difficulties, refined by Soderstrom, and Bjork's learning versus performance distinction.
Effortful retrieval generation, spacing, and interleaving can make today's performance feel worse while strengthening durable retention and transfer.
AI can raise immediate performance by removing exactly the difficulty that would have produced learning. That learning science is foundational. Applying it to AI is the mechanism, not a direct AI effect trial.
Then build AI to preserve the difficulty. Require an attempt before a hint. Ask for retrieval before revealing. Space the revisit. Vary the problem. Fade support. Test transfer with the model closed. The goal is not maximum friction. It's the right struggle at the skill formation stage, followed by assistance that lets the learner climb higher.
I'll concede the net growing case. Nigeria shows AI can improve measured learning, not just polish output. The calculator evidence shows assistance can coexist with stronger, unaided skill. And aviation shows we can keep powerful automation while deliberately maintaining the fallback. My case is not that assistance shrinks minds. It is that unpracticed dependence does.
And I'll concede the optimist's blind spot. The current evidence does not support calling AI net growing by default. Writing performance without transfer, the observational detection drop, spatial memory associations, and dependence signals all show real shrinkage risks. Nor can these different studies produce one population-wide net number.
The MONIS trend is conditional. Substitution cuts practice. Scaffolding can grow learning.
So, audit the handoff, faculty by faculty. With AI, what can you produce? Without it, what can you retrieve, explain, perceive, decide, navigate, and practice with another person? If the second answer keeps improving, that is augmentation.
If only the first does, the system grew while you didn't. The tool doesn't decide. Whether you keep doing the part that's hard does. These voices and visuals are AI generated. The studies are real and cited on screen.